What's up, everybody? My name is Justin P. Etienne, and I'm a New York-based fashion designer, and this is my story.
Mama, I'm so sorry, I ain't get no 9 to 5. If I did that shit, I feel like I'd be wasting all my time. Yeah, nigga too creative, God gave me a lot of gifts. You gon' understand when I buy you a crib when I get rich. Working on my craft like Bob the Builder, I'm determined. I really hope that everything I do will all be worth it. Focus on the music and the clothes, I found my purpose. My grandma passed away a while ago, but I'm still hurting. I done gained a lot, but I ain't even in my prime. When I felt like giving up, God was showing me them signs.
My name is Justin P. Etienne. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I was born and raised, and I moved to Long Island halfway through my life. I'm a fashion designer and music artist. I went to FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology. I received my bachelor's degree in production management. Originally, when I came into school, I was like modeling a lot, so I got opportunities to model for like a lot of brands. My first like real modeling gig I ever got was for Hood by Air, like Shane Oliver's brand. And I got like so much insight being backstage. So I got to look at things from different perspectives, from a business standpoint, being a model, seeing the production side of things. More so, it was just about asking questions and staying curious all the time. I feel like I was always asking like my peers questions in school. I was always going up to professors that I didn't even have in my major, and I was asking them questions like, how do you do this? How do you do that? So just like the repetition of messing up, not being afraid to make mistakes all the time for years, like is what kind of got me into like making my own clothes. And when I started seeing my progress, that's when I started really taking it serious. Thank you so much. But bro, I'm not gonna lie, like I live for moments like this, bro. Like I have so much on my plate. And I never fold, bro. It don't make me feel like too crazy because I love this.
Right.
But I've been mentally preparing for this for a long time, so it's not like I'm shocked by anything. I always know like obstacles is coming. But this is the last one after this one, and then my boy gonna come downstairs. Everybody gonna come downstairs, and then we gonna be done with that. So what got me into fashion? I feel like I was like born to like do this. I feel like I was always like into clothes and sneakers, but essentially like, my grandmother, she was a seamstress. She used to sew like for the family. She actually didn't want to go into her own business because like when she came from Haiti, she was actually like afraid to open up her own business here. So she just kind of kept it in-house. So I got to watch her like make my clothes for me, my little cousin's clothes for holidays and stuff. And it was just so interesting to see something that I never really saw before. You don't really go out and see these things, you know what I mean? That I would play on her machine, I'll get like beaten sometimes because she would think I'm gonna hurt myself. But I understood how to use it because I watched her all the time. The biggest thing that I learned from her was just being a good person and treating everybody with the same respect as you'd want to be treated. Like my grandmother was the most caring, loving woman like I ever met in my life, and I feel like that's why when she passed away, it broke my heart because I didn't think that was ever gonna happen around that time, especially. And just her showing me how to sew. Like there was a point where like when I was in high school and I started taking it serious, like she sewed like a jacket for me. She helped me understand how it was put together. I didn't know how to do it exactly, but she helped me put it together. She told me how to be disciplined too, because she didn't play that. So I would have to come home and do my homework before I watch TV and stuff like that. I used to try to sneak and watch TV and put the volume down. But she used to tell me like, yo, if you wanna like have fun and you wanna like have leisure time, you gotta do what's important first. So I put everything that I wanna do in my life, like to get me to the next level first, everything else second. It's just a good feeling, bro. I'm excited to see that my ideas is coming to life after all these months. After all the hard work, I'm hyped. What? I mean, I was reading the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. That was one of the books I read too. Okay. And then I think it was chapter 4 that said like, it mentioned the law of detachment and how we got to detach ourselves from like results and stuff and expectations in life. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you set your intentions, and aside from that, like you just put in the work that you got to do, and then everything else after that unfolds. So for me, I just know I put in the work for this collection. Like I did my research, studied. Anything else that happens after that is a blessing, bro. But at the end of the day, like regardless of the outcome, I'm happy with the process. Exactly. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Exactly. So regardless of what happens, bro, I know that I had a great time doing this with my friends. Like everything was smooth. Basically, like literally, just my collection, my music is an extension of who I am. At the end of the day, so like whenever somebody sees my collection or they hear my music, it might not be for them, but at least they were able to look at it and say like, yo, let me internalize myself to see what I can do to move forward and grow with nothing in return, just because I love this shit, But when I'm not doing this shit, I feel like depressed. feel mad stagnant. I feel low. My vibrations is just fucked up and shit. I'm working on this since October. Yeah, it's May. No, it's April now. My head is. Growing up as a kid, especially in Brooklyn too, I was just like watching a lot of my favorite music artists growing up on BET Network and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, they fly, like where they get their clothes from. I wanted to emulate that or create that. I just didn't understand the concept of it. So like, I think moving forward around like 4th grade, my mom put me on punishment because I lied about my homework. I told her I forgot my textbook in school and I didn't, some shit like that. And basically, she told me I couldn't watch TV, play PS2 for the whole weekend. So she was like, you better draw, write something, read a book. So I just started drawing a whole bunch of sketches of like clothes with price tags, like this rain hat is gonna be $12.99, this raincoat is gonna be $39.99. And I started just figuring out like, all right, this is the winter season, this is the spring season. And she actually created a application for me for like a future store that I want to open. I think I still have them to this day. And then fast forward into 12th grade senior year, I took a fashion design drawing course with my teacher, Mrs. Murphy. She saw like a lot of potential in me when I was like creating designs and stuff. And she had told me to apply to FIT. I got in for production management because I wasn't prepared out of high school for design right away. And I think like that was the first time I ever felt like somebody outside of my family like genuinely cared about where I'm going in my life. I think that was like the first time I realized that I have something within me that I need to take serious. So when I got to FIT, I'm around a whole bunch of creative people like, damn, like this person can make these clothes, this person knows how to take pictures, whatever. So I guess being around that environment just like brought a different type of animal out of me. And I think ever since then, like I just kept going with it. I wouldn't be here without Miss Murphy. And I wouldn't be here without my friends as well too. Like my bro AR that was modeling today, him and my bro Johnny, like after school and senior year, they used to sit on my free periods with me in the classroom just watching me sketch and supporting me. So I wouldn't be where I'm at like without them.
My name is Rita Murphy. I'm a teacher from Deer Park High School, and in fact, I'm a retired teacher for about 4 years now. I'm also known as Mrs. Murphy. I'm also known as Murph. My fashion design students are my amazing people in life. I'm extremely proud of them, extremely proud of them. I started a fashion program here many years ago. Not too many schools on Long Island had it, and I felt there was a need, and we filled it. We filled a need, and it's extremely difficult to get into fashion design school. The competition is crazy. It's absolutely out of this world. And here were my little 17 and 18-year-olds getting into fashion design school. So much so that we beat the competition. We beat the competition on Long Island, and we beat the competition in the United States. We did an amazing job, and one of those students that I'm extremely proud of is Justin Etienne, and he was one of my students who excelled at what he did. He learned a long time ago that no is a 2-letter word, and he became like water. These are the lessons that we taught in the classroom. And he started out like a regular high school kid. My first impression of Justin was a kid that came to class late, had to get yelled at. His friends showed up, I had to chase them out of the room. And then when he realized that it wasn't just a fashion design class, but in fact, a class that would prepare him for life. Because I took teaching very seriously. It wasn't just about the art, it wasn't just about the fashion design, but it was also about success and succeeding. And he learned right away, and he felt that it was serious, and he took it very serious. And I watched him go from a high school kid who was showing up to school late all the time to an entrepreneur, to a person who's taken this extremely seriously. He just started out like every high school kid. coming into class thinking he's taking an easy art class, he's gonna have a good time, it's gonna be fun, and then he met Murph. And I put them through it because I knew that the competition was so crazy. And I needed him to be able to reach those goals, in fact, exceed the goals to get into the colleges. And he did. And he did it with ease. I was so impressed with him. He did it with ease. And he's, from then to now, he's amazing. He's an amazing entrepreneur. He's got an amazing vision. He sees things that other people do not. If you don't have passion in anything that you attempt to do, and if you don't love what you do, you shouldn't be doing it. And I taught this to my students. And that's why they excel, because they love what they do. You can't be driven by money or intrinsic things. You have to be driven by your heart and your desire and your imagination and your creativity. A teacher inspires. A teacher shows you the way. Whether they wanted to come in during lunchtime, which Justin did, he'd come in during lunch. He'd come in on any free period he had. He showed me that he wanted this, and he wanted it badly. He deserves every bit of my knowledge and every ounce of my energy and all of my passion because he's so passionate about it. That's what drives a good teacher. A good teacher is driven by the passion of their students.
When I was a kid, my grandmother had like a closet of yarn. She used to live on Howard Avenue in East New York. She used to live in this building. And I took like all of the yarn from her closet and I started throwing it around everything in the room. I just wanted to be creative and be fun. I think I saw it on Tom and Jerry or something. And I just wanted to recreate that. So she came in the room and she was like, yo, what did you do? So she just cut everything with a pair of scissors and I think I got a beating or something. But I was like upset because I didn't get to finish what I wanted to do. So with my last collection, Imperfection, in 2019, for my show, I had like a display where I recreated that concept by getting giant yarn and throwing it over the ceilings and the poles and all of that. So a lot of what I do today is just like a recreation from my childhood. And I feel like as creators, it's very important to tap into your inner child because I feel like society like tries to break that down within us. The education system tries to break that down within us, having these jobs, you know, like it shies us away from our inner child. So I think like doing these things and being creative, even if you don't do it for a living, it doesn't have to be like for real, you could do it for fun. But I think it's important to continue on that inner child because I feel like that's what keeps us sane, that's what keeps the world going. My upbringing was, it was amazing, I could say. It was my mom and I. My mom raised me as a single mother. Her and my pop split up when I was 3. She would like drop me to school in the morning. I would go to school, go to after school program. I'll probably be on a basketball team or something. She'd pick me up, come home, cook, you know what I mean, like do my homework with me, and then she would sit beside me every night and talk to me for like an hour long. She did this for years. I'm talking about I was like 12 years old, 13 years old. My mom's coming to my room before I go to sleep and like talking to me about certain things like that. So I think like I have a lot of values instilled in me just from like the people that I had more so. Just playing ball, like it just instilled a certain mentality in me because a lot of people might think like, yo, I'm good at what I do. I'm nice at basketball or whatever, but you coming from Brooklyn, New York City, like you step on the court with somebody better than you, that shit gonna humble you, bro. Like I literally would think like, oh, I'm good at this, or this is fun, until you actually get your ass bust, until like somebody violates you, somebody like make you look like a, you know what I mean? And I feel like I'm glad that I got to experience those things growing up because I feel like I would internalize myself and ask myself, how can I be better at something? I got to see a lot growing up in Brooklyn. It make you grow up real fast because everything is so fast paced. You got to become very independent when you're going to school and like transportation and all that. But you know, there's just like certain obstacles that you go through, especially somebody coming from the hood. Growing up, you see like a lot of messed up stuff and you don't really understand it until like you actually like witness certain things for yourself. So I think like it's good to be able to grow up in an environment where it's not like perfect because you get to like get different perspectives on things. Some of my inspirations growing up, I would say like Kanye West. Some people might not, you know what I mean? Some people have their mixed emotions about Kanye, but like at the end of the day, I looked at a black man from the music industry talk about everything that he said he was gonna do, and he did the shit. I'm looking at this man like, yo, he's literally in his music videos talking about like his like what he's gonna do with his brand, going on interviews with like Charlemagne and like talking about like, yo, I'm gonna do this with my brand. And I've been in all of these interviews with Louis Vuitton and all of this stuff. And he was like, yo, like they were turning me down, turning me away. And he just did everything he said he was gonna do. You can't take that away from nobody. I think A$AP Rocky was like a huge inspiration for me because you see somebody from Harlem coming from the hood talking about high fashion, like Rick Owens, Raf Simons. I remember back in the day, like when me and my bro AR was wearing Raf Simons, or we would wear skinny jeans to school. We was wearing Jeremy Scotts with the wings on them. People was making fun of us. Like people was like, yo, why y'all wearing skinny jeans? Y'all look feminine. Like why you wearing bucket hats? Like y'all look like y'all fishermen, like wearing ripped jeans and all that. But it was just so good to see like a black man comfortable in his own skin to do whatever he wanted. And he didn't care about what nobody thought. And I think like having those people in society, especially for a black man growing up and wanting to be in the fashion industry, like brought some type of confidence to me to feel like, yo, if he could do that, I could finesse this too. What made me start making music in 2015 or 2016, like around the time my grandmother passed away, I was like really depressed, like down, like bad. I just tried to always have like a healthy outlet to keep me sane and keep me going when I was feeling really bad about it. And I learned that like the best way to like maneuver through life is to acknowledge your emotions as much as possible. So I was watching a lot of my bros from back home doing music, and I was watching their process and everything. To me, honestly, it was just like an outlet for me to express how I felt, whatever I was going through. It was just very therapeutic, and I just kept doing it. And a lot of people kept telling me like, yo, bro, if you want to be a designer, bro, you gotta focus up and take that serious. And then if you want to do that later, then you could pick that up. But if you want to be a designer, then you should focus on that. And I would listen to my friends that I confided in at the time. And, you know, I would listen and be like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm going to just focus on one. But it just always kept calling me. I opened up for Kehlani for FIT Springfest in 2018, my senior year. And the only reason why that came about was because the president of Student Government Association actually listened to my music on SoundCloud. And imagine this though, like imagine like I really stopped like making music because I felt like I'm a designer and I shouldn't do it. I got that opportunity. That was the first time I ever stepped foot on a stage in my life, like to perform in front of people. And it was like 1,100 people at the arena at that time. I could have set that limitation for myself to be like, nah, I never did this before. I'm not really that good of an artist. So I feel like ever since then, I saw like a lot of people get motivated by what I did, and people were just coming up to me and hitting me up like, yo, I really respect that you're just not afraid to do this. And I feel like seeing people's reaction and knowing that I was able to do that for somebody just kept me going. So I just kept working on music. I dropped my first EP ever last summer. I'm about to drop my second one now. And I've been working on music for like 5 years and nobody knew. But I just was practicing, just like keeping myself sane.
So happy that I'm here with y'all tonight, yo. I've been done 2 new songs now. This is my last year at FIT, and it's my first time on stage. And I'm doing it. Don't be afraid to come out your comfort zone. Don't let nobody do that. If you want to do something, just do it. Don't let nobody take it.
I was just never really afraid to make a mistake, and even if I was, I learned that anytime that I persevered through it, I always learned something from it. I just developed this mentality that I have now because I messed up so much. Like, I messed up all the time. I have friends that come to me and tell me like, yo, bro, I want to start making clothes. I want to start taking photos. I want to sing. I want to dance. Bro, you have to dance in front of people. You have to sing in front of people. You have to sound bad. When I first started making music, I was trash. Like, some of my friends was even laughing at me, bro, and it made me feel bad about myself. But like, my meds was like, yo, bro, you gonna laugh at me, bro? I'm gonna be better than you, bro. Like, that's how I look at anything. And that's just me looking at the people that I mentioned before, like Kanye, A$AP Rocky. Those were black men that didn't care what the most successful people in the industry were saying about them. So why would I care about what these people were saying about me?
I be in my zone, you better look. And niggas scroll on Twitter while I'm sitting reading books. I'm working really hard cause I could never get enough. I be smoking all these verses like I'm visiting his prime. Your shorty hit my line again, but I had to look for. Focusing, I'm trying to change my ways, I'm gonna be successful. I get home no rush cause life's so short, I always let go. Yeah, he follow me on Instagram, he not my man though. How you say you love me, but you try to bite my hand. You know that I'm a peep, the signs read between the lines. If I follow through with something, I'm gonna change my mind. We ain't beefing with nobody, we ain't into that.
I moved the host back a little bit. and then I'll pull the ladder up a little bit. You think I have to have the bucket What that great shit? Great shit?
What more props can you put? I wanted to
I can't fuck with these hoes cause these bitches is trash. I like my bitches classy. She suck on my phone, she nasty. She open her legs like nasty. She make it disappear magic. Christian Louboutin, special my feet. Red bottles when I walk in the street. Pop smoke, I'm the one they wanna meet. Pop smoke, they know I'm bring the heat. Pop smoke, they when I fuck with the team. Pop smoke, bad bitches, that's my thing. Pop smoke, let the carrots on the ring. Pop smoke, Mike and Mary, Billy Jean.
Throw the ladder towards you.
Dreaming. Know that I'm dreaming.
Your garbage can is there. You're just standing.
I'm up in lurking, scheming. Know that I'm scheming. Jason, blood gun, laser. Me and my bitch, Jason. If I don't got it, she gon' taste it. Rip him up, shake him. I don't fuck with no pigs, no bacon. Assalamu alaikum.
Make sure you crop me out. Tripping.
They don't got the sauce. You know what the angle do. So what's the matter, we ending you? Hit your body, go.
Once I realized that I don't need negative or painful situations to get inspiration, I was like, yo, I'm gonna pull inspiration from somewhere else. So I just was living my life, internalizing myself and experiences that I've went through. And then I just started just paying attention to like construction workers on the street and just thinking about how like, yo, the pandemic is still going on, but these construction workers is outside like building these buildings for people to live in, for like these offices to be built. And I'm like, yo, it's very important for them to have like some type of apparel to like go to work in, to come home in, whatever. So I love cargo pants, so I started manipulating like the idea of a cargo pant. So I added like these pleats on these pants right here, and that's like that's like more found in women's wear. Pleats is more like of a women's wear thing. So I was like, yo, I want to incorporate women's wear and men's wear and change the narrative of what it means to be a menswear designer, you know? I wanted to drop this since January. And the whole name of the collection is called Please Go Away. So it's just the idea that I've been in situations as a creative where I stepped in the office and I got turned away from either me possibly getting judged, I wasn't qualified enough, whatever the case may be. But back in the day, people would say like, yo, you can't go into an interview into a fashion office with your hair braided. It's not appropriate. You can't walk into an interview without a suit and a tie. Like, but nowadays things is changing. I've gotten interviews off of the fact that I dressed the way I wanted to. And they'd ask me, why did you dress this way? And I'm like, ironically, I'm wearing a pair of pants from your company. And although it's not like a formal attire, I feel like this is appropriate for the workplace because I'm comfortable. It's not like I'm wearing sweatpants. And just the fact that I was confident in my response, they respected it. I got the internship just off that. I'm in control of that narrative and nobody can tell me otherwise. It doesn't matter what you experienced, what your experience was, it's my experience. I'm gonna create my own narrative of what I want. So that was like the whole concept around it. The energy I'm trying to push out is just like, I'm a boss. Like, not just myself, but you are a boss. She is a boss. Like, he's a boss, she's a boss. We have the power to tap into so many different resources. All of the resources are there. You can go on YouTube and type in how to sew a dress, how to make a blazer, how to record this song like this artist. Everything is there. So just the fact that the resources is there, I'm just trying to push this narrative that like, yo, we in control, bro. Like, we can literally create not just a space at the table, but our own table and do whatever the hell we want at any given time. Yeah, I met a lot of resistance, like a lot. I had like some of my own family telling me like, is this something that you really want to go into? Because there's not a lot of jobs in it. And I would literally, my response would be like, yo, who told you that? How you know that? It's like, where are you getting this from? You just have your own idea of what you think my path is supposed to be. And I literally would get into arguments with people about it. Like, I'm like, damn near to the point where I didn't want to do it anymore, but I'm a rebel. You know what I mean? So literally, like, when somebody says I can't do something or I shouldn't do something, I'm gonna do it. Not saying that I do crazy shit, like bad stuff to people. I don't do bad shit. I mean, but like literally, if somebody's like, yo, I don't think you should go into this path because you're not gonna get a job, I'm gonna prove it to you that I'm gonna do it. I went to FIT and like literally I was gonna stay there for a semester because I wanted to play ball. I played basketball my whole life before fashion. That's a fun fact. Literally I was in the gym with my bros like we'll be bowling in the summertime from 12 p.m., 1 p.m. in the sun. We'll go to the community center from 3 to 7. I will come home and eat dinner, go to the gym, train and do drills, and then we'll play games at the gym and lift and get home like 11. Do the same thing all over again. So for me, like, I don't know, like, I just learned that, like, I'm gonna be met with a whole bunch of resistance. Even in sports, too, when I was playing ball, there was a lot of resistance that I had to encounter. I had to, like, do a lot of different things to make myself better, to, like, try to outshine the person next to me. So I just applied those things to fashion. And I feel like a lot of people would always tell me, like, I don't know if it's gonna be good for you, but I'm here now, right? I'm always in a rush, yo. New York City makes me feel like that. Oh my God. Where you live at?
One thing, you are the best personality, and I hope you will be a big designer for Hollywood.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I missed my train. Thank you.
Okay. Yo, appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yo.
That's my buddy here, man. Alright? That's my buddy. Since day one, he always come here to buy, fabric, and then he know the good stuff. When he comes here, I always help him. Always looking for, yeah, exactly. And then he's very good, I can say he's gifted. He know what he's doing, So I pray for you to have good and a lot of customers,
Appreciate that.
This is my buddy right here, all right?
Yeah. When we up, I'm gonna come back and give him an envelope full of.
Of course.
Gotta take care of my people.
Exactly. Yeah. He's a nice guy, definitely.
Appreciate
Yeah, he's always buying, and then he's very straight, That's what I like about him, Yeah.
Favorite designer right now? Myself. Yeah. Cause I feel like nobody think like me. Like, I don't even think that's cocky. I just know like what I like, what I don't like, and I put so much time and effort into what I do. And it's not even about just the end result. It's literally about the process for me. I love the process. We got here at like 2 o'clock today. We didn't shoot till like 3 something. It's like 11 something now. We still here. But I love this shit. So for me, I think that's what sets me aside. Like I'm my favorite designer because I know what I do to make whatever vision I want come alive. I make it happen no matter what. No matter the resistance, no matter who's telling me what, no matter if it's raining outside, no matter, bro, I'm doing it. And I always get it done. Every single time, I always prove it to myself, no matter how much I have on my plate. So I think I need to stop being so hard on myself and like pat myself on the back sometimes. Don't judge me. I don't be eating like that because you know you always be working and stuff like that. I'ma gain a little weight this summer though. I be forgetting I'm on camera when y'all filming, so I be saying some shit sometimes and people gonna think like, if he mad weird. I be just saying random shit. Yeah, I be calling my bucket hats fucket hats. Starving, boy.
Just one of the most diligent people I know. So I've been there when he was making his like first sequin jacket. That was like his first foray into fashion and designing by himself. And that was like 2-3 years ago. And it's like every year or so, as being someone that close to the process and the action and knowing behind the scenes, leaps and bounds every time. Like the growth, the learning, and he's someone who's trial and error. So you know what I mean? So he's making mistakes along the way, and you're seeing the adjustments, you're seeing the adaptations as he's learning. Now he's at the point where not only is he just designing pieces, but he's designing a whole collection. You know what I mean? There's a whole campaign behind that. And so seeing the growth, like I said, from years ago up till now, it's immense. And sweat, you know, determination, a lot of mistakes along the way, but every time he bounced back there. You know, it's motivating to see, to be honest. And I give him props for everything that comes out of this because, you know, he earned it, he worked hard for whatever comes, so.
Yo, everything we do, like, is organic. I don't do that, like, funny business. Anybody that I bring together, it's always organic and everybody builds off of each other. We use each other's platforms and everything, so. Basically, when I bring everybody in the same room, everybody winds up getting some type of new opportunity moving forward, or they get a new friend, whatever. But basically, my goal is to just bring a whole bunch of people together, you know, and just create a whole bunch of opportunities for my people.